Hey everybody, Tim Brahim, Performance Experts Coaching and Leadership 360 with another business and life tip for you. And this week's tip is a very much a life tip and one that actually has a radically direct impact on business. So it's kind of one and the same. And the subject matter is meditation. And meditation has become, hotter and hotter, I think, over the last several years. More and more people are starting to meditate. And more importantly, there's been a dramatic amount of research that's being done in places like the Silicon Valley. In fact, you can kind of try to dig this up. Time magazine had an entire issue dedicated to mindfulness at the beginning of 2017, and it's an article or a magazine, I should say, that I found to be incredibly insightful, talking about meditation and the statistical benefits of it in both our lives and in our business, as well as the subject matter of mindfulness. And meditation used to be, I think, considered kind of woo-woo, by some people that weren't comfortable with it. Maybe it's a direct affront to your religious practices or things like that, but it really has nothing to do with any of that. Meditation is really mind training. It's about becoming intimately familiar with what we refer to as the monkey mind, our active mind that we all have. I have clients and people tell me all the time, I've tried to meditate, but I can't because I can't get my mind to stop thinking. Well, that's not the point of meditation. In fact, good luck if you're going to try to get your mind to stop thinking. As one of the great meditation teachers in the country who trains the meditation instructors at Google, who we have as a kind of a resident meditation teacher in the Leadership 360 program. His name is Noah Levine. As Noah has said on many occasions, I've heard him say, the eyes just see, the ears just hear, the heart just beats. Why is it so difficult for us to understand that the mind just thinks? In fact, it's a gift that our mind wanders and thinks and is futuristic in its strategic way. And yet it can be a curse, right? So you get home from work and it's really hard to be present with your family. Or you're trying to engage and stay focused on a task at the desk, maybe calling on leads or working with your referral partners or working on a marketing plan, and your mind starts to drift elsewhere and you start to chase a shiny object. Okay, and I'm sure that's happened for many of you, and you end up not getting done the things that you wanted to get done that day. Well, that's because our mind is geared by nature to scan the landscape and assess danger. It's in our DNA. It's how it works. So accept the fact that that's how your mind works and understand that one of the great practices, no different than going to the gym to exercise your biceps or your quadriceps or your chest muscles or whatever, is that we need to have a formal training, a formal discipline and practice to cultivate the skill of presence so we can train our mind to be still in those moments when we really need it to be. So there's some great resources for this. There's an app that you can get on your phone. It's probably already on there if you own an iPhone. It's called Breathe. And there are many other apps that are available. I would also recommend that you check out some of the stuff that's online in the way of podcasts. I mentioned Noah Levine. He's a tremendous meditation teacher. He has a podcast himself with many guided meditations on there. But understand that the benefit of meditation is for us to become intimately familiar with how our mind works and how it will drift, and to be able to train ourselves to bring it back to presence so we're not being controlled by our mind. Okay, we're using our mind as a servant. It's once been said that the mind makes for a terrific servant and a terrible leader. And unfortunately, many of us are being led by our mind, led by our worries, our fears, our fantasies, rather than being able to use our mind in the most strategic way. And in closing, I'll say this. There's a reason that Google and Apple and Amazon and the Pentagon and American Express all have meditation programs for their staff and employees. And it's because the statistics have shown resoundingly that those that meditate have a greater sense of presence and focus, greater accuracy in the workplace, and far greater efficiency. So start to dive into this concept of meditation if you haven't already done so, and I hope you found this tip to be helpful.